Are you tired of getting mushy, bland, or just plain disappointing couscous? Yeah, you are not alone. But what if I told you the secret to perfect, fluffy couscous every single time is just one simple ratio? Well, today we're going to unlock that secret and completely transform your couscous game for good.
Does this look familiar? We've all been there. You follow the directions on the box, but you end up with a side dish that's either a sticky, gummy clump, or even worse, kind of crunchy and undercooked. And the flavor, a lot of the time, it's just, well, nothing. It's one of the most common kitchen frustrations, but believe me, the fix is so simple.
So, what is this big secret? It all comes down to one simple yet absolutely crucial thing, the liquid to green ratio. If you get that right, I promise you, you are well on your way to couscous perfection. Okay, so to make sure we're all on the same page, let's start with the absolute basics. What exactly is this stuff we're trying to perfect, anyway? So, at its heart, couscous is basically just a type of pasta. Yep, it's made from semolina, which is a flour ground from durum wheat. Its tiny size is what makes it a weeknight dinner hero. It cooks incredibly fast and acts as this brilliant blank canvas for stews, salads, or pretty much anything you can think of. Now here's the first crucial piece of the puzzle, and this is where things can sometimes go wrong. There isn't just one type of couscous. There are two main varieties you'll find at the store, and each one needs its own simple method.
On the left, you've got your standard or Moroccan couscous. These are the tiny, almost sand-like grains that cook in a flash. And on the right is Israeli or pearl couscous. See how they're much larger? They're almost like little pasta pearls, and they've got this wonderful, chewy, hearty texture. Just knowing which one you have is the first major step to success.
So let's start with the most common type, that super quick cooking standard couscous. We'll call this the 5-minute method. And I'm not kidding, it is genuinely that fast. Ready for the secret? For standard couscous, the golden ratio is 1:1. That is it. 1 part couscous to 1 part liquid. It's that simple. Just burn this into your memory and you will never have mushy or crunchy couscous ever again. So here's exactly how to use that ratio. First, bring your liquid, and you should add a pinch of salt and a little olive oil or butter to a rolling boil. Second, and this is important, take the pot off the heat and stir in your couscous. Third, cover it tightly and just let it steam off the heat for 5 minutes. Finally, take off the lid and fluff up those gorgeous grains with a fork. It's totally foolproof. Okay, let's move on to our other variety. For those larger, chewier pearls, we're going to use a slightly different approach we can call the simmer method. For Israeli couscous, the ratio changes just a little bit. Because these pearls are bigger and need to actually simmer, they're a little thirstier. They need more liquid. The magic number here is 1:1.5. So for every 1 cup of Israeli couscous, you're going to need 1.5 cups of water or broth.
The process is also a bit different. For amazing flavor, start by toasting the dry pearls in a little olive oil for a minute or two until they smell kind of nutty. Then pour in your liquid and a pinch of salt, bring it to a boil, and then reduce the heat to low, cover it, and let it simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes. Once all that liquid is absorbed, take it off the heat, let it rest for just a couple more minutes, and then you can fluff it.
Okay, so you've officially mastered the basic methods. Now for the fun part. Let's talk about a few pro tips and some flavor ideas that will take your couscous from just a simple side dish to the absolute star of the plate. All right, this first tip is non-negotiable, especially for that standard couscous. It cooks by steaming. If you lift that lid to peak, all of that precious steam escapes, the temperature drops, and you're going to be left with crunchy, undercooked grains. Just trust the process. Let it do its thing for the full 5 minutes. Okay, this is a tiny detail, but it has a huge impact. Always use a fork, not a spoon, to fluff your couscous. A fork separates the grains, making them light and beautiful and fluffy. A spoon, on the other hand, will just press them all together and create these dense, sad clumps. This might be the easiest flavor hack in the book. Couscous is like a sponge. It just soaks up the flavor of whatever liquid you cook it in. So by simply swapping water for some chicken or vegetable broth, you infuse every single grain with this deep, savory flavor before you've even added anything else to it. It's a game changer. And once it's cooked, really, the sky's the limit. You can think of this as a launch pad for ideas. For a Mediterranean vibe, stir in some lemon zest, fresh parsley, and toasted pine nuts. For a classic Moroccan flavor, try a pinch of cumin, maybe some cinnamon, and sweet golden raisins.
Or just keep it simple with some sautéed garlic and butter. This is where you really get to be creative.
So there you have it. No more guesswork, no more mushy messes. Whether you're using those tiny Moroccan greens or the chewy Israeli pearls, you now have the simple ratios and the foolproof methods to get it right every single time. This is your blueprint for success.
The foundation is all set. You understand the two types, you know the magic ratios, and you've got the pro tips to guarantee a perfect result. So the only question left is, what are you going to create with it?